All right, we are back, you guys. Go ahead and get your receiver on the mat. We assume the position to receive and the position to give. So I'm going to start the same way as Robert. Typically, when I do things differently, it's because I've forgotten exactly what he's doing, but I'm pretty on point tonight. So we will stick with it so you guys can get like an even trade. What's nice about having it similar is so that you can see it and you can feel it. You can give it, and then you really have an idea as to what it's like to give this to someone. And I'm blabbering. Give it and receive it. There we go. All right, so we'll start it off with my left foot underneath his leg, right above his knee. My right foot here. Let me switch to this guy. Perfect. So, well, I lied. I do kind of want to shake him out a little bit. Just kind of shaking. Sometimes if you have your receiver that doesn't really have a lot, like if this brings them some discomfort, coming under and shaking the leg, you can just do a little steppy thing here, loosen things up, soften things. But we're going to go ahead and bring the foot sideways, and we will pick up and shake out these glutes. Give them a little warmed up. So the key here is, as a giver, to be comfortable. You never want to do anything that causes you any pain, ever. Never. It's never worth it, because there's always another way to do the work. So if you feel like your foot is starting to get tired, you can come in and just do a compression, right? But we're going to keep softening. I'm going to go ahead and go a little deeper. So my left foot is just sitting here. I'm not doing anything with the left foot, if you're wondering. It's kind of just holding it into place. If you have a client or a receiver that's holding, I might kind of like flip it to kind of be like, hey, let go, you know? Or I might just come up here and start kind of kicking around on the hip lovingly to just kind of get them to let go. Because sometimes people want to help. You know, they don't mean anything. They just want to help. So we'll come in. I know at one point on one leg you did come through and give a little compression here in the leg. So I'll go ahead and do that too before I move on. The key is to really roll. I start with my toes here and just kind of roll up. Once again, my bottom foot's not really doing much. If the receiver wants more pressure, you could always keep the bottom foot a little more stiff to create more pressure, but it's a pretty intense move. Most people's IT bands are pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and come down to his calf. And I am going to, let me switch cameras so you can see how I'm sitting here. I believe Robert was maybe sitting the opposite direction. Exactly. Yeah, you
could have done that either way. That's something I didn't mention, but.
So I like to kind of start off a little broad, right? I'm using, there you go, right?
It is so good. No, it's been a long time since somebody's done this. My calves usually have a little tension.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe as soon as you press, I was just like, ugh.
So I'm using the palm of my hand as I'm rolling him on my leg. And I'm moving my hands from his foot back up to his knee, just kind of feeling where is he holding his tension, right? And kind of move my leg down a little bit. So that way the contact from my leg to his calf is changing. Let me go ahead and show you, for those of you that are now giving, see what our gastrocs look like, what we're working on right now. Some more superficial muscle. So I'm going to go ahead and locate an area in Robert's leg where it feels a little more dense. I'm going to come with my elbow, and I'm just going to stack myself. Let's see, there we go. Nope. Here we go. There. Show me stacking myself. I am flopping my words, so just stick with me here. You can even do a little movement. Robert, is the pressure good for you? There we are. And do be careful. I just caught myself kind of leaning forward. When you lean, if you do lean forward, you don't want to use this tip. The tip is a dagger. Unless your receiver wants a very sharp point, go ahead and stick with the flat part of your elbow. We're not trying to torture, we're trying to relax, we're trying to relieve tension in the muscles, right? So if you were to use a pointy surface rather than a big broad surface, you might have your receiver guarding. We don't want to guard.
And I feel it running down into my feet or my foot on the side.
Yeah, I was feeling it shooting down to the ankle, huh?
Down the front. It's from the tib anterior. I feel that preferred pain down the front top side of my foot.
Do you like it more towards your foot or more up towards your knee?
Actually, a little bit more down. It's like a broad fan, like on my ankle. Feels like it's spread just down over my top of my foot toward my toes.
So I like to, if you do feel any tingling or numbness, just let me know. Nothing to be alarmed about. There's nothing wrong if there's tingling and numbing. I just don't want Robert's foot to go too far asleep or any of that. But once it gets a little tingly and nummy, I'll start to kind of pull up slowly. And you will see the foot. You will see the blood go back into the foot. He was very pale before, and now there's a little bit more color. I'm going to do one more little compression here.
It's a good thing I'm translucent like a lizard.
Yeah, you can really see the color change. And kind of move out of the way. It's kind of a bad angle on that one. There we go. Woo! So sorry.
Didn't hurt.
So I'm using my left hand to just keep the legs stable. His lower leg's a little tight, so it kind of just, there's like the bull knocking me off, trying to jump around. And so I'm just using this hand just softly to keep it in place. You can come back and do a little rocking. All right, so when you did this, guy, I've not done this bad boy before. Not like this.
Big calf stretch. Can you give me the control?
I can totally.
You always skip out on the anatomy.
Oh my goodness, I do.
So she's using the feet as a handle. And it is stretching through all of that. But it's also getting very deeply as she leans back like that. Gastrocs. And then the lower muscle, or the deeper muscle, I should say, soleus.
I'm just bringing a little movement to his carpals. Are these carpals or tarsals? These are tarsals. I was like, did you hear me? Like, I stopped and I was like, those are not your carpals. And I was like, tarsals.
I was so relaxed, I'm like, sure.
I literally was like, did I just say that? And I'm like, no. So your tarsals here.
Tarsals are the mirror image of the carpals.
Carpals, tarsals, toes. It's all good. We're all human. Kind of bring some movement here. Give the foot a little tension. And this can always just be like your warm-up. You can always come, well, I'll do that in a second. We'll do that in a second. I want to come over here before I go do a little more foot. I want to stick with the plan. All right, so we've got Robert's leg here at a 90 degree. You can see a nice little triangle under here, right? So we know we're doing good. So here is where it comes to like different bodies, right? Like Robert's tall, I'm short. So you just kind of make it work. It's the distance between my body and Robert's body, the distance between your receiver and your body is going to be a little bit different. So you just have to figure out, where do I need to be to get where I'm trying to go? So we're going to work on these peroneals here. So if I'm having trouble getting my and we're just going to lean back. Ha. Robert, I'm struggling here. There we go. Does that feel like that's it?
It's where, so that is where I want you to press. Then it's just a matter of putting your body in a position where it feels comfortable to you. And the thing that you were pointing out is like body size,
yeah,
limb length can change how givers and receivers interact. Like they might have to change it a little bit. Can you put your left foot on my foot?
Ah, that's what we're missing.
No, it just helps anchor a little bit so I can let go.
Now,
and now you got to figure out.
This is my first time. Let's get that.
My teaching is pretty brutal. I'm just like, here, new stuff.
Yeah, I learned this a second ago while I was laying on my back. Oh, shoot.
Right there.
Yeah, I got it.
Big, deep pressure right into the peroneals, particularly fibularis longus. But right in there. That's awesome.
When I felt myself hit the place I was supposed to hit, I could feel it kind of move. I felt it kind of shift over as I'm pulling you into my knee, into my elbow on steroids. Ha. We're gonna make the connections, guys. We're gonna make it to where it's not so foreign. You keep practicing, you keep showing up with us. You're going to be a natural in no time. So I just kind of let off and I'm going to come back in at a different point.
Oh, wow.
Pressure good. Should I lighten up a little bit? Good? Cool.
It's intense.
Do you like the rocking?
A little bit. It's intense, but it's not painful. The rocking, it's like when you back off, I'm like, oh. And then when you lean in, I'm like, ooh. Right at my edge. Oh, real deep down through those muscles there. That lateral compartment of the lower leg. Oh.
So I just want to kind of, I've had his leg all up. I've been kicking his glutes around. So I just kind of want to do a little pulling and just kind of realign Robert before I go to the other side. And I just can't help myself. I just want to, this is what I was saying, I just want to give the feet a little bit extra. We've shown you guys this a million times, but it will never get old, ever. This is amazing if you have your wife or husband or friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that always wants foot massages and your hands get so tired. This is a cheat, right? So easy, but so delicious. We're working the inner fan line of this foot. Just your palm, leaning side to side. Just kind of giving a little extra to the feet before I move on to the right leg. I'm going to give one more little tug. And my hands are just sliding down naturally. I set them down. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other leg. So yes, I am not the best at switching from camera view to anatomy, but that is because normally Robert does that for me, but I will improve, people. So I'm doing a little warm up to his hip. I like to go off-roading, you know, so I kind of stay on course, but I kind of hop off the road a little bit, show you a little extra. So I got my right foot underneath his knee, just above it, not underneath the knee. So here's Robert's knee, here's my foot. And my foot is not straight up, it's not flexed, it's just relaxing. It's kind of neutral, just kind of whoop, hanging out there. So my left foot is going to come in at an angle and it's going to scoop up his glute. I'm a little high. And I just heard my knee pop a little bit. So my foot, I'm sure Robert, you probably just windshield wiper it, don't you?
It's like I'm making a little circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little circle. You could change it in so many ways because you could just press. But I found that the circle seemed to cover a broader range, and it assisted that leg movement.
And so my foot just got tired. I felt a little tired right here. So I want to go in with one more pass up in the gluteals, but I'm going to go ahead and give it like a couple seconds break. He has no idea that I am doing this because I'm tired. If we were in session and I wasn't speaking. Just give it a little shake out. Then I'm going to come in a little deeper. I'm going to come on in. Well, I slowly go in and I slowly come out, right? That's one thing I haven't really emphasized today. So I'm going to come here with my toes and just roll his leg up and get a big broad compression with my arch to his IT band. Once again, my bottom foot is just kind of hanging out. More of like a guide rather than giving any counter force, unless Robert were to want more pressure. Robert, how is that pressure? Good, no more? No. No trouble here. I want no trouble.
Ladies, if you want to beat a guy up, like, it don't take much. Using your legs are just very powerful tools compared to your hands.
So once again, slowly move out. Go ahead and get this cord moved around here. Of course, you're on my back. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to remove both of my feet from Robert's leg. And I am going to get in this great little side stance and get his leg positioned on top of my leg. So say Robert, like, he's one of those people that likes a lot of pressure, right? I'm gonna use my thumbs, right? But if it's really tender, I'm gonna use my palm. And I'm I don't know why I always want to relate everything to making snakes, but I feel like I'm making a Play-Doh snake right now. You would think I have like 2-year-olds with how I'm always trying to make Play-Doh snakes, but it's just me.
Frank Zappa has a song called Baby Snakes.
Uh-huh.
Baby snakes. Every time you say that, I think of that song.
I have a strange obsession with making snakes out of Play-Doh, so screw it. Here we go. So as we're working through this tissue, we're just rolling. I can sense there's some good stuff I'm working underneath his soleus, his gastroc. I'm softening the gastroc to try to start getting towards a little soleus work. I don't know what is going on with this bad boy. We're having some microphone cord is just up in my face. All right, here we go. Game on. So I moved my knee a little higher up on his gastroc. I feel like that was kind of a bad move because it feels very soft up there. So I'm moving back down a little bit. Found some good dense tissue here on his shin. Well, not his shin, on his outer. Let's go ahead and show those muscles that we're working. We're in the upper lateral side of the muscle, working this tibialis anterior. I'm stacking my body, sandwiching his leg between my knee and my elbow. But it's there's soft, it's not really my knee, it's kind of where my knee is bent. So it's nice and soft on the bottom side right now as I'm doing this move on Robert, and then he is met with the flat part of my elbow. I'm gonna find that good spot again and just sink in. Once again, his leg was starting to kind of move around on me, so I'm using my other hand to just lightly hold Robert's leg in place. Being careful to not use the point of your elbow unless you're trying to get secrets out of your receiver. You do not need that pointy elbow here. If they do ask for more pressure, some people may, sure, go ahead and lean onto that point.
I get that referred pain again. When you sink in tib anterior, I get that light up on this top side of my ankle,
There you go.
down to my foot and toes. Right into there.
Do you like it more towards the foot?
Yeah.
I could feel that I was dropping into some more dense tissue, so I kind of had a feeling that was probably where Robert wanted me to go, but feel free to have that open communication with your receiver so you can give them exactly the pressure they want and where they want to receive it. Slowly release. I like to go back to a little more snake making, soften it back up, kind of give it a little love tap in a sense. I'm gonna go ahead and flip around. So I can go ahead and do a little stretch. So I'm gonna grab his foot with my hands and just lean back. Lean back, stretching out, getting some movement to the foot, to the ankle, to the tarsals. Get like kind of scissor. And lean back. So once you feel like you've done enough of that little stretch, you can go ahead and bring the leg up to a 90 degree. Once again, we are going to put our right foot on his foot so that we can hold their foot into place. Position your body in a way that's comfortable for you. We want to go ahead. You can use the back of your hand. It's a little less pokey when trying to find your bony landmarks. So I'm going to go right below the bone. Pushing into bone never feels good. So let's try to avoid pushing into bones. Let's work the muscles. How's that feeling?
Better spot.
So this spot I'm working right now is very dense. Feels bone-like when it's on my knee, but it's not. I can feel that his bone is above. So Robert's foot keeps slipping. So I'm going to adjust him in a way, hopefully to kind of hold him in place so he doesn't feel like he needs to hold. I want Robert to just be able to relax into my leg. Is that a good spot there, Robert? So with the way your foot keeps slipping out, is that there's fine?
It's just the angle, and then
Probably because I'm so short.
That's what I'm wondering, is just because of the limb length
Yeah.
discrepancy. But it's just a matter. The hardest thing to teach is when somebody really short works on somebody really tall, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because I'm always going to teach from my body, and I'm dealing with my height, weight, flexibility. So I have to modify things sometimes. As long as you're pressing in the peroneals on the outside of the leg and it's comfortable to you, it's totally fine. It feels extremely deep, and that little bit of shift I had in my heel wasn't problematic at all.
Nice. So I'm not pushing in with my knee. My knee is just staying put. I am just pulling him into me. You can see here how I have just pulling him into me. I'll go ahead and put Robert's foot back down. I'd like to come back down to the feet. I want to give him another good pull. And as the giver, go ahead and just let your head hang back. Sit back on your feet. I will tell you that it took me a while to be able to sit on my feet like this. As you continue practicing Thai massage, your feet will open up more. You'll be able to do things longer. You will gain strength and muscles. So don't be hard on yourself if you have trouble sitting like this. Maybe you need to be up more. Maybe you need to be just one-legged. Do know that there's many ways that you can do these moves. If you ever have any questions, let us know and we can show you another way. But eventually you can get to where you can sit on your feet. We'll just say a nice goodbye to Robert's feet. They never really get any attention. I was using my palms first. You can use your fingers, thumb press the fan line. Go up towards the toes. Go back to the heel. Do another fan line. And come back to a little palm. All right, guys. Well, I think that concludes our gym today. We can do a little shakeout. But thank you so much for coming today and doing a little Thai jam with us and practicing. If there's anything that you are ever interested in us going over, feel free to add that in the comments. We would love to have your input on what you want to see.
You guys have a good night. We'll see you again soon.
2 weeks, guys. See you back here.